My name is Mel Tomeo, and I'm a full-time game instructor for the Magic department at Miami-Dade College. Hello, everyone. In this recording, we're going to create a timer that counts down by 1, and it will continuously count down by 1 while it's being played. So here in the hierarchy on the left, I'm going to right mouse click and create an empty game object. I'm going to rename this to Time Manager. Okay, next I'm going to create a text object. So under UI, it's the first option called text. And when you click on that, you can see that it automatically places a canvas in your Unity project, and the text object is in the center of that canvas. Okay. And then if you take a look on the right here, while you're clicked on the actual text object, you can see the different properties here, the font and different alignment options and etc. and the color. So what I want to do is just change the font size to 20. So it makes it a little bit bigger. And if you want to change it to bold, you can change it to bold if you want. But now we don't need the words new text in there because we're going to put a counter in there, and that's going to count down. So we're going to delete that for right now. Okay, so delete that for right now. Okay, the next thing that I want to do now, is create a C# script. So down here in the project window, right mouse click, create C# script, and I'm going to call this count down. Okay, you can call it whatever you want. I'm just going to call it countdown, and then I'm going to attach this script now, the countdown, to the time manager game object, and you can just simply drag and drop it here in the hierarchy, or you can drag and drop it into the actual game object here. But either way, it's fine as long as it is attached to the time manager game object. Okay, just make sure it's attached. Okay, next thing that I want to do now is double click on the countdown script. It's going to open up in Visual Studio. Okay, and again, these are the libraries that we're bringing in. This is the class, and this is the header of the class. This is the start method. This is the update method. And what we're going to do here at the top here is we're going to create a public variable for time left. So it's going to be public and it's going to be integer data type, so int, and we're going to call it time left, and we're going to assign the value of 60 to it. So it's going to start off at 60, and eventually we're going to put some code in here to have it count down by 1. Okay, and I'll put a little comment in there where it's basically public variable called time left with the value of 60. Okay. Next thing that I want to do now is create a UI text object. So UI text object, and it's going to be a public access type, and that's the data type, which is text. And then we're going to name it count down. Okay. Yeah, we can name it countdown. That's fine. The next thing that I want to do now is make sure that with this version of Unity, it automatically brought in the library that I need for UI components. So make sure that you have this library that it automatically brought that in for me. Okay. Next, in the start method, I want to call a coroutine. Okay, and this is just basically a method that I'm calling, and it's going to be called start, and you can see how it already starts to autofill it in. And we're going to name it lose time. Okay. All right, and this is what we're going to call it. it's going to be called lose time. Okay, so down here now, the next thing that I want to do after the update method is create a simple code routine. Simple. Okay, and again, these are all comments here. Everything in green here is comments. They do not affect the code. It just tells the user what's going on in the code. All right, so the first thing I want to type in is an Ienumerator. And we're going to, remember what we called it here, lose time. Nothing in the parameters. Okay, and now inside here, we're going to type in a while. And what this is saying is basically while it's true, it's going to now wait each second. So what we're going to do is we need to create something that's going to wait each second and then the next line of code we're going to reduce by 1 second. So waiting each second. And how we're going to do that is you type in yield return new wait for seconds. Okay. And you can see that what it does here, if you put your mouse over the wait for seconds, you can see here what it's actually doing here. And it says suspends the coroutine execution for the given amount of seconds using scaled time. Okay, so here we're going to type in 1 in the parentheses here, and it's basically going to wait 1 second. And then after that second, what we're going to do now is put in time left minus minus. Okay, and what this is doing here is reducing the value of the variable time left by 1. Okay. All right. So now in the update method, we need to actually show this happening. Okay. We need to actually show this happening. Okay. So showing the time on the canvas counting down. Okay. So how do we do that? We type in the name of our text object, which is countdown dot text. Okay, and we're going to make it the value here time left. Okay, so what we're doing here is using our object. This is our method, and we're assigning the value here of time left. And basically what it's doing is showing that the time left starts at 60, and it's going to count down by 1 because of this here. Countdown, it's going to wait 1 second, and then here it's going to minus 1 second each time. Okay, and it's going to continuously do this because we didn't put anything else in there to make this stop. So it's going to continuously count down by 1 until we stop playing the game, stop playing Unity. Okay, so we save it. If we go back now to Unity, okay, so the next thing that I need to do is if you click on Time Manager, and you come over here and you can see that we created our variable time left, and it was 60. And again, if we take a look at the code, it's a public variable, so the value is 60. And then we created another public variable here called countdown, was the data type of text, but we didn't assign anything. We didn't assign anything to it, so we need to put something in there. So there's 2 ways of doing it. You can either take the text here and drag it into here, or you can click on this little dot here where you browse over and you can click on text. Okay, so now you have that text in there, and that's what's going to be showing up. So you hit play, You can see that it starts at 60 and it counts down by 1, and it will continuously keep counting down until you hit the unplay button. Okay, it'll go into the negatives and it'll keep counting down. So just to recap of what we did, we created an empty game object called Time Manager. I attached a script called Countdown Script that I created. And then inside the code here, you need to make sure you have the UI library for the Unity engine. I created 2 public variables, one called time left and another one called countdown. Inside the start method, I called a coroutine and we called it lose time. It comes down here. While it's true, it waits 1 second, reduces the timer by 1, the variable time left by 1, and then here in the update, it's shown. This is where you're showing the text, and you can see that this is just a little space there where it's showing the time left, and again, the time left is going to be counting down by 1 every second. Okay. All right. And then once you go back to the time manager after you save your code, you need to drag and drop the actual text in the countdown variable.